I want you to look closely at the people around you today. Most of us walk through life completely blind to a hidden psychological world, one that is operating right in front of our eyes. In this explainer, we're going to unlock a secret layer beneath everyday human interaction. We are going to decode the anatomy of the subconscious and uncover some dangerous, hidden truths about human nature. Human beings speak two languages at the exact same time. Just let that sink in for a moment. You see, most people believe deception hides inside words, but the truth is entirely different. The first language is verbal, the second is biological, and the biological one is far, far more honest. The conscious mind, you see, creates polite, socially acceptable words. But long before humans developed sophisticated speech, our survival depended on reading danger instantly. That ancient survival system in your nervous system, it still reacts uncontrollably to the truth. The words are controlled, the body is not. Which brings us to our first core concept, the illusion of words and the absolute necessity of establishing a baseline. The biggest mistake amateur observers make is looking for universal signs of deception. They assume that crossed arms or looking away always means someone is lying. Elite analysts don't do that. They establish a baseline. That's how someone behaves when they are completely relaxed and emotionally comfortable. Only after you understand someone's normal behavior can you detect the subtle biological shifts that signal a hidden threat. What you're really looking for are deviations, sudden shifts. If a normally calm person suddenly starts blinking rapidly, their nervous system has been triggered by stress. A sudden closed posture, that means discomfort has just entered the room. Hard swallowing often reveals deep internal conflict. These deviations happen because the nervous system reacts to a threat way before conscious thought can stop it. The truth always leaks out. Now, let's break down the anatomy of the truth and look at just how uncontrollable the human body actually is. The feet never lie. Humans will obsess over controlling their facial expressions to maintain a polite facade, but they almost always forget their feet. And the feet are deeply connected to our primitive survival instincts and movement preparation. When someone's feet are pointed towards you, it signals genuine engagement. But I want you to imagine a polite conversation where a person looks you dead in the eye and says they'd love to stay longer, but their feet are pointed directly toward the exit. Their conscious mind is playing along, but their nervous system has already left the room. It desires escape. One foot angled away shows emotional detachment, while constant shifting leaks raw anxiety. Biology reveals true intention. Moving up the body, we run into microexpressions. These are genuine, entirely uncontrollable emotional reactions that flash across the face for less than half a second. They originate in the ancient limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. Even highly intelligent, socially skilled people literally cannot suppress these flashes of pure emotion. Why? Because survival biology always outpaces the conscious brain. These microexpressions leak incredibly dangerous emotions. Fear widens the eyes and tenses the mouth. Disgust wrinkles the nose. Anger tightens the jaw. But you need to pay very close attention to one specific expression: contempt. It usually shows up as a subtle, asymmetric, one-sided smirk. Psychologists consider contempt one of the most toxic, dangerous, hidden tells in human interaction. It silently screams, "I think I am above you." It is the ultimate signal of hidden resentment. So, what happens when things escalate? Let's examine the biology of fear and what happens to a nervous system under threat. When we feel threatened psychologically, the body instinctively attempts to protect itself. You'll see crossed arms, paired with tight shoulders, a rigid posture, and a lowered chin. But the most revealing signal of all is touching the neck or throat. The neck is highly vulnerable. Touching it is a primal, self-soothing mechanism that kicks in during moments of intense stress or deception. When you start observing clusters of these defensive behaviors, you are watching a nervous system under siege. We also have to shatter a massive myth about deception right now. Most people think liars look away. They don't. Deceptive people know society believes honest people look you in the eyes, so they overcompensate. The liar's eye contact becomes excessive. It becomes an unnatural, forced, dead-eyed stare. Honest eye contact naturally fluctuates. It's relaxed. Forced confidence always feels exactly that, forced. And the eyes offer even deeper, involuntary clues. Pupil dilation is completely uncontrollable. Your pupils expand during fear, excitement, or attraction, making them a terrifyingly honest window into emotional arousal. Blinking is just as revealing. Increased blinking signals stress and the heavy psychological pressure of deception. Decreased blinking reveals a mind working under intense concentration or deliberate mechanical control. The eyes are processing emotional intensity way before the words are ever formed. Now we shift gears. We are going to map the architecture of power, how dominance and connection actually operate in the wild. Ask yourself this: why do powerful people speak less? Because weakness rushes to fill a void. Confidence uses silence as a weapon. The psychology of silence is a brilliant tool of dominance. Powerful people move slower. They pause before they respond. They interrupt less. Silence creates an intense psychological pressure, mainly because humans naturally fear uncertainty. Skilled interrogators and elite negotiators use deliberate silence to force uncomfortable people to expose themselves. When faced with silence, the insecure will just start talking excessively, exposing their hidden truths just to escape that heavy discomfort. This reveals the stark difference between authentic energy and a forced performance. Authentic confidence is calm. You'll see relaxed breathing, fluid movement, and a grounded posture. It requires very little effort. Fake confidence, on the other hand, is loud. It relies on excessive dominance displays, rigid movements, and massive overcompensation. Forced control always eventually leaks because the body becomes mechanical. Natural emotion flows smoothly. Performance feels calculated. But remember, power isn't just about dominance. It's also about connection. And this is the hidden language of mirroring. Mirroring is the unconscious biological imitation of another person's posture, speaking speed, or breathing. It's not just some trick to build rapport. It is your actual nervous system signaling that it has found a safe, socially valuable ally in the wild. It is driven by a deep, ancient, tribal trust. Yet the nervous system can easily be confused. There's a fascinating biological overlap between attraction and anxiety. Both trigger the exact same physiological arousal: increased heart rate, pupil dilation, a rush of adrenaline. But look at the subtle difference here. Attraction pulls the body closer. It seeks connection. Fear and anxiety subtly push the body away. They seek escape. The physiological arousal is identical, but the body's orientation reveals what the nervous system truly wants. This all leads us to the invisible war, the hidden emotional reality playing out around us every single day. Humans really like to believe they are rational creatures. We're not. Most communication is emotional first and rationalized later. We hide our weakness behind displays of status. We hide our fear behind masks of anger. And we hide our insecurity behind pure arrogance. Because of this, literally every room you walk into contains an invisible psychological battlefield. Right beneath the polite conversations, there are constant, silent wars of dominance, insecurity, attraction, fear, approval-seeking, and manipulation. The nervous system prioritizes survival over social performance, and so it is constantly leaking these hidden emotions. Most people never notice them. But you are now hyper-aware. You are no longer just hearing words, you are seeing emotional reality itself. The ability to recognize truth before it is spoken. That is the ultimate psychological advantage. By understanding the baseline, observing the uncontrollable biology of fear, and reading the subtle architecture of power, you can finally see the world as it truly is. The body speaks faster than words. The only question is, are you finally ready to listen?